Hello there, dear people. This is Mislav speaking from the other side of the screen, and in this Linux tutorial, we are going to talk about the file command. Now, the file command is used to actually guess the file type based on the contents of a file. And this may sound very trivial because if I type in ls, not lss, but ls, I can see, for example, that I have ls.txt. So if I have a .txt, you can actually see like, oh, well, it's a textual file. And if I actually type in file ls.txt, press enter, I actually get that ls.txt is sc text, okay? And this thing right here, don't be concerned about what it means, just, it means that it's a textual file. But if you're really curious about what it means, ASCII, which is basically this, is used to encode text. And again, I would then have to get into what is encoding, etc. Basically, don't worry about it. If you're really curious, just type in SC and read the Wikipedia article if you're really curious, okay? So for this particular example, it is trivial because we understand, okay, a .txt file is going to contain text information. However, what if I wanted to see what is this tutorial file? It doesn't have an extension, okay? So it really doesn't have an extension, and I want to see what it is. So I can write file tutorial, press enter, and I also see that it is textual file as well. Okay, even though it doesn't have an extension. So the file command can actually be used in those situations. Also, what can happen is that maybe you can have a file of one format, but the format is actually different. So for example, ls.txt could technically be an image, a picture, right? Who prevents us from actually having a picture stored as a .txt file? Who prevents us? Nobody. Okay, especially in Linux. I mean, in Windows you can also change the file extensions, but in Linux Linux is even more lenient with the file extensions. Okay, so that's why the file command is useful for. I personally never had to use it so far, but I think it's a good idea to know that if you ever want to find out what a file is actually, doesn't matter, what's its extension, maybe it lacks extension, you really want to see what the file is based on its contents, you use the file command. Okay, and it tries to guess what file that is actually. Okay, so thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you learned something useful, and I will see you in the next tutorial.